Our guest today on agenda is a very special one. It's someone who's not only been at the center of the Congress party, the Nehru Gandhi family, but is an insider. And also what's very, very unique is that she's also been a commentator, writing from outside as an Indian Express commentator. And she's really made her mark as someone, even though she's been a Nehru family insider, of being very, very critical. I'm of course talking about Nayantara Sahgal, whose book Political Imagination has just come out, and she's here with us. Thank you so much for speaking with us. Now, as I was saying, it really is interesting, Ms. Sahgal, to get your perspective, since you are a Nehru family member. And at this time, everyone's talking about the Congress party. And you've really seen, as a commentator, as a political writer, you've seen how it's developed. Now, when you read all these newspaper articles talking about the more than 125-year-old party disintegrating, what does it make you think?
I want to make one correction, and that is that this term Nehru Gandhi family is a misnomer. I'm a member of the Nehru family, yes. Because my mother was a Nehru. I'm not a member of Feroz Gandhi's family. So I don't belong to the Nehru Gandhi family.
It's just a Nehru family.
Yes. I don't see this debacle in the elections as the end of the Congress. The Congress is, as everyone knows, a great historic party with a very proud tradition. And with an idea of India that I think we should all be proud of and cherish. I think it is congressmen who have let the party down, if I may put it that way. And I think they need to introspect, reorganize, put forward their true priorities and, begin to get their act together. And as we all know, the only thing that we can rely on in life or in politics is change. The pendulum swings. It doesn't stay in one place. So I believe the time will come when the Congress will have a role to play, an important role.
You say congressmen themselves are to blame for what's happened. It's not the party. It's any particular people that you have in mind?
No, I think myself that it would have been better not to promote dynastic succession. I've said this many times ever since Mrs. Indira Gandhi was promoting her son Sanjay as her successor.
That's when you fell out with your cousin as well.
I was opposing it at that time, although she was my family, my cousin. And I've always believed that that was a dangerous trend for a democracy. Now, of course, the whole of India is full of dynastic succession.
Yes.
Not only the Congress party. So I hope that trend will be corrected and that there will be a U-turn taken so that other talent, other experience in the party can emerge because it has a big role to play.
The Congress party since 1998 has been led by Sonia Gandhi. If you open the front pages today, one of the big stories is many people saying now Priyanka Gandhi is all set to take over a very crucial role. Perhaps in these elections as well, we saw her much, much more involved. You must have seen those reports. Do you think, is that part of that whole dynasty problem? Or do you think that's a solution?
Look, if a doctor's son can become a doctor and a lawyer's son can become a lawyer, there's no reason why a politician's son should not become a politician. I'm not against that per se. If Priyanka wishes to join politics, if she feels she has a bent for it, and she certainly seems to have a flair for it, why should she not? But that is a matter for her party to decide. It's not something I can sit in judgment upon. And I would certainly wish her well if she did join politics.
But doesn't that go against what you were saying about dynasty being problematic?
No, what I was saying was, and let me repeat that that being, the son or daughter of a lawyer doesn't prevent you from joining law. The point is you have to make good then. And it should not be taken for granted that you, because you are a member of a particular family, will then become the next leader of the family. Take, for example, Rajiv, who was certainly pushed forward by his mother.
Yes.
But he did win the biggest majority to Parliament, a fantastic majority, and therefore he had every right to be there.
He had every right to be there.
Not because he was the son of Indira Gandhi, but because he had won a huge majority in his election to Parliament. That is the test.
As opposed to Sanjay Gandhi, who without any election, you feel during emergency was being pushed by your cousin.
That's right.
So you use the word, they have to make good. Has Rahul made good, you think? He's been there since 2004.
It seems to me he's not keen on his work. He has said so. He has repeatedly moved away from leadership, in his own words. I haven't met him, so I can't, speak for him. I can only, as an outsider, as a TV watcher, newspaper reader, say that he has not shown any keenness to become the leader. He has been put into that role, but I haven't seen him say, yes, I want to be Prime Minister, like Mr. Modi declared time and again in every time he spoke on the public platform, yes, I want to be the Prime Minister. You have to want to be there to be in that position.
And you feel he doesn't?
Well, as I say, I've not heard it from him.
Even though last year in January, we saw him take on a higher role as Vice President, and even this year, just before the elections, he seemed all set to take on a larger role if it came his way.
I think what he has tried to do is to democratize the party, starting with the Youth Congress. And then he was hoping to move upwards into the main party and democratize the whole party there. The point is that is a very long-term process. You don't see results in a hurry.
Yeah.
In a party which has been controlled so long by as strong a personality as Indira Gandhi was, and where all these changes began under her, not under Nehru, and certainly not under Lal Bahadur Shastri. They began with Indira Gandhi. So to turn the clock back and to begin the whole process of democracy within the party, I think is a correct thing to do.
It's a correct thing.
But it takes a very long time.
Now, if we talk about Sonia Gandhi, you have been in touch with her?
Yes, I have. Yes.
You see a lot of CWC members for the first time come out and criticize her and Rahul as well and talk about it. Do you think a lot of it is unfair?
No, I don't. I think we are a democracy. Everybody has a right to speak and express their opinion, and certainly within a party, people have a right to express their opinion about their own party. Why should they not? I don't see anything wrong with that, and maybe such criticisms will, get the party going again.
Do you think that kind of culture of disagreements, of discussion, of churn is intrinsic, or it's quite rare in the Congress party?
It was intrinsic in the Congress tradition from the time of the national movement.
Sure.
When it was a great democratic party. I think it was brought to a halt by Indira Gandhi. That whole democratic process was put a stop to by her when she highly centralized the party.
Yes.
Made it come under her own personal command. She even highly centralized the country because she made the states less important. And all these things carried on then after her. I think Rajiv made a great effort to make a change, but he was killed.
He did make a...
Yes, he did. He was a totally different personality, a totally different type of human being. I think Sonia, let us put it this way, she had no other model to follow. She came to India as a young woman to marry an Indian. She came to be part of a family that was in power. India at the time was controlled, led by a highly popular and highly powerful Prime Minister. Of course, that would become her model, wouldn't it? What other model had she but Indira Gandhi?
I heard your previous interview about what's been happening of late, and it was interesting that you said when someone asked you to compare her style with that of Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, it was interesting that you said that she worked much harder. Do you think the flack, because he's received a lot of criticism, because a lot of the books that have come out, political biographies and memoirs that have come out, whether it's Sanjay Baru's or it's Natwar Singh's, have been quite critical of the fact that a lot of the files went to Sonia Gandhi. Do you think that people have been unfair to him?
What I said was that when Sonia took over the leadership of the Congress party, she worked very hard to do her homework.
She did.
She did. She was, after all, a woman who had never stepped out of private life. But once she had the leadership, she learned Hindi. She spoke on the public platform in Hindi, maybe in a stilted style, but she spoke.
Yeah.
And I admire her for that. I think it must have taken great determination and great courage. And she did it out of the conviction that she felt she had a role to play and a debt to her family, as it were, by traveling from length to length. And certainly, I don't think Mr. Manmohan Singh knows India as well as she does. He didn't know towns and villages of India, I think, as Sonia got to know them.
Yeah. And so she deserves the credit, you feel?
Absolutely. Absolutely. In my opinion, she worked exceedingly hard in a very difficult situation following a ghastly assassination, which in anyone's life, yours or mine, would throw us back from public life.
Everyone's talking about that crucial time now, 2004, and I know yet again, I don't know whether you were in touch with her or not, because you said
yes,
that,
recently I've been in touch.
2004, where we've all known that it's to be her inner voice which told her not to accept that. And now there's been a lot of talk about the fact that Rahul actually is the one. But do you think, looking back, the Congress party might have been better off if she did take the plunge and take on the role of Prime Minister?
First, let me say that this supposed revelations which are made that she didn't do it according to her conscience, but according to what Rahul made her do. I don't think there's anything irreconcilable about those two positions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, in her position, had you or I been there, would we not have consulted our family? And would our family not have been very frightened, of the possibility of assassination, it having occurred twice already? I can't think of anything more natural than for her children to tell her, don't go there because you might be killed. That's one thing. And then she chose this midway path where she chose Manmohan Singh as Prime Minister. You're asking me, do I believe that she should have stepped into the path? Yeah. And I'm speaking now conditionally to say that yes, I do believe, because she had led the party to victory and she should have maybe faced the danger of assassination and just stepped in. I don't know if I would have had the courage to do that myself, but as she had brought the party to power, she had every right then to step in and be its Prime Minister.
If I extrapolate from your answer, you're saying perhaps the party may have been in a better position if she had.
Well, I can't speak for the party. I certainly would say that she had every right to be there. In a democracy, the leader who takes the party to power has every right to then become the Prime Minister. And yes, from that point of view, not only had she the right, but she may have done a very good thing by stepping in and taking up that role. Last time I spoke to Sonia about this Congress defeat was, don't apologize for things that don't need to be apologized for.